You. What up? All right. We got another one from Bill Burr. Another one from Billy Burr. And is he so dope? And this is part two of The Last Dance. The Last Dance. Yeah. Part one was, mostly about it was mostly about Isaiah Thomas or the Pistons. And them refusing to shake hands after they were eliminated by the Bulls, you know, and it's understandable to me. To me, I understand why Isaiah Thomas was left off the Dream Team, but I could see if you're a Detroit Pistons fan why you would be upset or why you wouldn't care. uh, but yeah, part two. Part two. Let's see what else Bill got to say about The Last Dance. Let's go.
Jordan is the most talented player in the NBA by far.
The show of the 90s, the team of the 90s.
The ones. Jerry Seinfeld.
Because I'm still two away. Did you watch all 10?
Of course I did. Of course
Yeah.
I did. And that should be required viewing
Yes.
for anybody who ever wants to achieve anything in life. And you should go
Damn.
back and you should continue to watch it. And I know that there's been some criticism from, documentarians because Jordan had, final edit and all that. And that's what I think made it amazing because I've been watching the guy since he was at Carolina. So for close to 40 years, other people have been telling his story, and he finally got to tell his story. And I don't know what these people are upset about because the way they perceived him was, I think, through eyes of envy. And I had no idea that he was that great of a teammate, that he was that coachable.
Yeah.
That like in '96 he gets into a fight with Steve Kerr and Phil Jackson kicks him out of practice and he leaves.
But I'm going. I'm gonna fight.
He hauls off and hits me in the chest. And I just haul off and hit him right in the fucking eye. And Phil just throws me out of practice.
Because Phil's the coach. Like they came up with Michael Jordan and his supporting cast, and then he started saying it. Then they act like he came up with it, but like he just
Rodman.
seemed like that. All that stuff. Going to go see Rodman, and Rodman coming up saying, "Do you have a cigar?" He didn't apologize, but he understood the psychology of what he was doing.
I went to Michael Jordan's room as for a cigar, but I think that he knew the fact that that I think that's probably his way of me showing him that man, my bad.
He didn't say apology. He didn't say anything. But by him coming to my room, it was his way of saying, look, man, I fucked up.
It was
It was fascinating, man. And
yeah.
he apparently his daughter said that, he didn't want this to come out for a while and he was very worried about it. And now he had an article out recently that said he could breathe a sigh of relief because everybody knew him as the Gatorade guy and everybody knew him as the McDonald's guy smiling and kids' hero. And he was afraid it was going to come out that he was an asshole.
Man, I see a screaming devil. You make a mistake, he's gonna scream at you. It's gonna belittle you. He demands almost perfection.
And that's why he cried in that interview where he goes, look, I know when people watch this, they're going to think I'm a jerk and I'm not a nice guy, but there's a certain way to play to win. And if you want to win, you got to do it. He started crying and he goes, all right, break. And he took it out. But I
got to be honest with you. That has nothing to do with him. People thinking he's a jerk. That's people just envious of him and like,
yeah.
Because I talked to a few people and they were just going like,
That's how Kobe
"Oh,
was.
I mean, that's like, he's kind of like really intense. I'm like, no.
Kobe
That's
was the
what
same
you
way.
need to do what he did.
Yeah.
Like, what is the like?
I like him better. I actually like him better after it. Like the first cut, like when it, in like episode 3, when his teammates were like, oh, dude, he came in and we were like, but then I just realized, I'm like, no, man, like he's the reason why. And Scottie, here's the other thing too. Scottie Pippen, as great of a player as he is, and I think Scottie Pippen is an all-time great. He's one of the greatest on-ball defenders of all time. But Scottie Pippen, what Jordan did for him, I think Jordan made him one of the best players to ever live because
Oh, yeah.
he just had that guy next to him that did it, man. That did it and kind of won it.
Whenever they speak Michael Jordan, they should speak Scottie Pippen.
When everybody says, well, I won all these championships, but I didn't win without Scottie Pippen.
Like, dude,
you couldn't be around a guy like that. That's like if you're on like a more simplistic version in our life is if a buddy of yours goes on stage and he tries out a new bit, night after night after night, and he's building his act. It's like it pulls you along with him, and it's like even if you're not as good as he are, you're gonna get better. And what he did, how committed he was, and how bad he wanted to win every single year. If it's the level of leadership that he showed, because the thing about it is when the top dog drags ass, then he sets the tone. If he's busting his ass, then everybody else has to bust ass.
And so he talked trash in practice. He went at guys.
Stick dog down, keep him down.
Yeah, but you better watch out for the lead dog. He'll bite the shit out of you.
If he's listening to the coach, everybody else has to listen to the coach. I just loved watching how he interacted with the security. And you'd see him on the road.
Yeah.
He'd be joking around to people, driving by in the golf
Oh,
carts
the
and stuff.
SNL
He
skit.
was like a really I know he worked those guys real hard in practice and stuff, but how could you get upset as a professional player? You get to play with the greatest player of all time, and he's going to bring the best out in you. Especially with athletes at that level, I think it'd be a no-brainer that you would want to want to play with them.
The fact that he said, I punched the smallest guy, what the fuck am I doing? And I was wrong.
Look, I just beat up the littlest guy on the fucking court. And I felt about this small.
That kind of showed me that because Steve Kerr was like, yeah, dude, he said some things to me that he shouldn't have said, and he was a real dick. And then he actually called him up and bonded with him.
I called Steve and I apologized. Hey, look, man, it had nothing to do with you. I feel bad.
We talked it out.
That kind of showed me that because Steve Kerr was like, yeah, dude, he said some things to me that he shouldn't have said, and he was a real dick. And then he actually called him up and bonded with him. That showed me that he wasn't a full on, that showed me that he was a man, that he was like, well,
yeah, look, dude, we all say shit we shouldn't have said or whatever, but the media just blows shit out of proportion. And there's two things in the past week with sports. One was Jordan talking about when his dad got murdered. All these years, I didn't know it was two 18-year-old kids. The way they spun that thing like it was some sort of fucking mob hit.
The violent death sparked a half dozen theories about the motive, some including possible connections to gambling.
Now I was talking to a buddy of mine who gambles a lot. He goes, dude, they don't whack people over shit like that. They're not going to kill your dad if you owe him 50 fucking grand.
Yeah, especially with Jordan's money too. Yeah.
Dude, that's nothing. That's a couple of free throws for him.
Yeah.
One free throw, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan!
And Scottie Pippen.
He's also good. Why didn't they do Jordan last? Alphabetical? Oh, right. That's smart. You're smart, but still.
Man. I've heard about the, of course, you saw it on The Last Dance, but even before The Last Dance, you heard about Michael Jordan punching Steve Kerr. Michael Jordan punching Steve Kerr. He said, I punched the littlest guy on the floor. And I felt this small. That would happen, you pick on the littlest guy. Man. Did that punch help Steve Kerr be a better player and coach? Because, of course, he went on to, coach the Golden State Warriors. And then he witnessed, and then Steve Kerr witnessed the punch from Draymond Green to Jordan Poole. Steve Kerr has been a part of some very famous practice punches in the NBA. Man. But yeah. The Bulls probably the greatest team to the 98 Bulls. Was it 97 or 98 Bulls probably the greatest team? Is that the greatest team? Which one has the record? Which Bulls team has the is it 72 or 73 games? I forgot which team had the record. But yeah, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Grant, Kerr, I mean, yeah, yeah. I'm a Rockets fan. So when Jordan retired and played baseball for those 2 years, of course, that's when the Rockets won. That's when we won our championships. And people say, y'all wouldn't have won if Jordan played. Well, Jordan did play one of those years. He got eliminated. So I mean, it's not our fault. He got eliminated by Orlando, by Shaq and Penny. And then we went on to sweep Shaq and Penny. So I mean, shit. We could have played Jordan and the Bulls, but they didn't make it to the championship game. You know what I'm saying? So, I've always heard that the Rockets wouldn't have won 2 championships if Jordan would have been playing. Well, he was playing the second championship. I mean, shit. Damn. Man, but when he came back, when he was fully back, of course, I think the year he came back, he came back like halfway through or something. But of course, he won the next 2. But yeah, the Last Dance. The Last Dance.